Last year I received a letter from May Cryer, and she's one of the Rosies, Rosie the Riveter.
Dear Gary Sinise, I have watched so many wonderful things you have done for our World War II veterans. I am a Rosie the Riveter. I helped build B-17 and B-29 bombers at Boeing. We never received the recognition for what we did to save our country and our fighting men.
She told me about the Congressional Gold Medal that she'd been working toward. So of course the Gary Sinise Foundation wanted to be a part of supporting that trip to Washington, D.C.
We saw a wonderful opportunity to not just give them recognition, but to help support the financial cost of getting all these Rosies from all around the country here to D.C. today.
It's my honor to welcome you here to the Capitol for today's historic occasion.
What a great, great day for May and the Rosies.
We are here to commemorate the millions of women who heeded the call to build planes and tanks and jeeps and cannons and rockets. They were high school graduates. They were housewives. They were mothers turned war heroes.
Rosie the Riveter, all the day long, whether rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie the Riveter.
Rosie the Riveter was sort of a way to galvanize the female population to say, hey, look, there's somebody who looks like you who's doing this job, who's working in a factory, who's producing something for the war. So that I can do it attitude that you see in the poster has become obviously the symbolic gesture for Rosies all over the United States.
Rosie the Riveter.
I lived in a very small town in North Dakota. We weren't sophisticated about the rest of the world, but we sure found out in a hurry.
I ask that the Congress declare a state of war.
All the men were zipped out. They all got drafted. So we realized, even as young girls, that we needed to help.
I used to serve ice cream. This was in December of '42. Men would come in and they were talking about their factory work. I said, oh, can I get a job there? I was 17. Nope, you gotta be 18. So I found a 24 in the newspaper that was the same size as the 25 that was on my birth certificate. I tore it out, I put it on my tongue, and I put it on the 24. Next day, I went to Georgia, and I told them I wanted a job there. And they said, you got your birth certificate? And I said, yes, and I gave it to them. They boop, 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 start Monday.
We never had any time off. We worked 7 days a week around the clock, double shifts. There was one time I passed out because of lack of ventilation, and then I landed on a hot pipe. I lay on that pipe a long time and burned my arm. I'm a tough old bird at 98. Still kicking, just not very high.
It wasn't my job or your job, it was our job, and we all just did whatever our country needed.
The Rosies didn't just help to win the war, they transformed the workforce and the culture in this country forever.
Up until 1941, it was a man's world. They didn't know how capable us women were, did they?
Women were just mothers and wives at that time. I'm constantly saying, I brought you out of the kitchen.
The women, their hands and fingers were more flexible. In a lot of ways, we could move faster and rivet better than a lot of the men. But don't tell them that.
One of the things it gave me was some backbone to say no. When I came to San Francisco, after I'd been promoted twice in the office job, I found out that my file clerk was making $5 a month more than I was because he was a man. Mm-hmm. And I quit.
Oh, did you?
I did.
You still have young women around the world even, not just the United States, who look at that Rosie, I can do it attitude, and it inspires them in their own lives.
I started at least 40 years ago just trying to get the women recognized because we got no recognition after the war. The men came home to flying flags and parades, and Rosie came home with the pink slip. You know, if you can reach the right people and they realize the good cause, they'll help you.
The Congressional Gold Medal is the highest award this body can award to any group or any individual.
The Rosies really enter into an arena filled with giants, scientists, astronauts, writers, poets, politicians, people who have done really important things to the United States of America, and I think the Rosies deserve to be in that hall along with them.
It's been such an honor. It's been a wonderful trip.
I am so glad I came. I met so many friends, and I saw so many Rosies, that 106-year-old woman, and oh, it's just amazing.
My sincere thanks to the Rosie the Riveter Trust.
Rosie the Riveter Trust would not have been in the position to help bring the Rosies to Washington if it had not been for the incredible help of our sponsors.
To you, our Rosie the Riveters, I say thank you. This recognition has been a long time coming, and I am thrilled that the Gary Sinise Foundation can be a part of it.
Remember these 4 little words. We can do it.